Hello, everybody. This is Lynn Graham. As I mentioned in the past, the reason for me doing these videos is not just for my children, but others who might have missed out on having family devotions. Most people miss out on it, but not just for families, but for those who did not have families, who did not have a godly father influence in their house. So I want to, as we go along looking at the Bible, looking at different things to which you can apply to your life, godly wisdom. Now, I give these to my kids all the time because we have family devotions, and they're older now, but even when they were kids, we did things. It was more fun to them, maybe Bible charades or a little booklet that's popular now. It's called Keys for Kids or something like that. But as they've gotten older, I really want them to get into the meat of the word. And then there's, things start to compete for the time. People are now have part-time jobs, or maybe they're in college, or maybe they're in gymnastics, and there's sports, and there's all these other kind of extracurricular activities which kind of interfere with it. So instead of maybe having it at dinner time, which is when I used to have it most of the time, now it kind of split up. Sometimes we'll wait until everybody gets home, or most everybody's home, and it might be about 9 or 10 o'clock sometimes before I have a family devotion. So I'll do that. And but now, as I think about it, and I've thought about it in the past, it's not just for my children or people now, but it's also for my descendants, my children's children, my children's children's children, so that they can know that their grandfather or great-grandfather, or maybe great-great-grandfather, or maybe beyond that, had godly influence. And so it's important for them to know that I did not myself grow up in a Christian household, but I grew up in a house where my mother was a bartender in a go-go bar. And a go-go bar is a place where the girls dance topless, the women dance topless. She was not topless, but I was kind of exposed to that. But that was kind of the environment that I grew up in, as the youngest son of a divorcee. And my mother and father divorced when I was less than one. So things were quite kind of chaotic. At least my mom gave me, love. And I realized that there's a lot of people who don't feel that, who from neither their father or their mother. And maybe you fall into that category. And so it's kind of hard for you to kind of relate to this. And I understand that. I do some work at the juvenile prison nearby where I go up and preach on Sundays. And it's really a sad thing to see people coming from these broken households, and they have what we call now abandonment issues. And but the people who come actually to the Bible studies on Sunday are actually people who want to be there. So they're more receptive than what you might otherwise expect from a prison community. And I have to tell you, man, it just breaks my heart to see them there. And I see some of these kids and I think, what did they do to get in here? But yet they're there, and from wherever they came from, somebody sent them there because they thought that they were a bad kid. And they probably were. So, but some of them maybe started out good, and I'm surprised at the number of people who went to church. And I have seen this too in older people with a jail ministry, where people coming out of jail, and how some of these prisoners, some of these people knew the Bible pretty good, or fairly good enough to make well enough to have made a wiser decision than what they did to end up in jail. But yet there they are, and a lot of times these people, they come to know the Lord, or they were backslidden, and this is the kind of thing that has given them a wake-up call, and then they start reading and feasting on the Word of God and realizing that they're on the wrong path. And so they straight out and fly right. And people like that, and I tell these to the kids up at the juvenile prison, that if you follow the Lord, you give your life to the Lord, in 5 years, you won't even know yourself. You'll be a totally, completely different person. And these people go on to lead very nice lives, very middle-class lives, and just like anybody else. You never know that they were incarcerated at one point in time in their life. And I'm hoping better, those are the people I'm looking for. But there's also people who will be my descendants, and I actually want them to hear to God, because who knows if all the children that that are descendant after me will come to know the Lord. But you need to know that the Lord got a hold of me and blessed me beyond my wildest expectations. And he can do the same for you. And it would be great to pass on this lineage. In fact, a lot of the stuff that you will have today will be a direct result, not because of me, but because of God working through me and blessing me, because he does bless those who try to follow him. And because you have a special place. You're his child. So that's why I'm doing this. Have a great day.